What's going on, everybody? It's Lauren sitting here with Marshall Holmes for the Free as Fuck podcast. Episode 3. It's Sunday night, May 16th.
Haven't been canceled.
Hadn't been canceled yet, motherfuckers.
Not yet.
We're back. We were just here.
Nice.
And we are back in studio with Marshall. And we're going to kick it off, as we're going to kick it off every time, with Marshall's rant. So we're going to throw this thing up right here, and we're going to kick it off. So if you join the show, and if you miss it, fucking rewind it and watch it again.
Goddamn right.
Goddamn right. You ready?
Goddamn right. Am I fucking ready?
Are you fucking ready?
What kind of fucking question is that? You're goddamn fucking right.
All right. Are you, buddy?
Fucking ready. Let me fucking tell you something I noticed in America everywhere I fucking drive. People are like, oh, we need fucking people. We need to fucking hire some motherfucking people. We need to fucking hire some new fucking employees. They're like, hey, can you join the fucking team? Do you want to join the fucking team? Do you want to be a part of the fucking team? They need people so fucking bad. They're putting the fucking wage on the fucking ad. They're like, oh, we got fucking jobs. We'll pay you $9.50 a fucking hour to come here and fucking work. I'm like, oh, $9.50 a fucking hour. Holy fucking shit. I should fucking stop right fucking now. Everything in my fucking life and go in and fucking apply for this fucking job. I can't believe they're hiring for $9.50 a fucking hour. But guess what? Nobody's fucking applying for any fucking jobs. And people are fucking mad. They're like, oh, these motherfuckers don't want to fucking work. Nobody wants to have a fucking job. They just want to lay around on their motherfucking ass. They're fucking mad because people are getting extra $300 fucking dollars a month. So everybody's fucking mad. $300 fucking dollars. Everybody's getting, $300 a fucking week. Oh, big fucking deal. What the fuck are you supposed to do with $300 fucking dollars a fucking week? Whoa, I get to go to fucking Subway every fucking day because I got $300 fucking dollars a week. Why are you fucking mad at motherfuckers getting $300 fucking dollars a week? They're like, oh, we're going to cut off the fucking benefits. The fucking governors are fucking cutting off the fucking benefits, making motherfuckers go back to fucking work. They're like, hey, you're not getting your fucking $300 a week. Go to work, motherfucker. They're fucking starving motherfuckers to make them work for $9.50 a fucking goddamn fucking hour. What the fuck kind of shit is that? Let me fucking tell you something. You got a job making $9.50 fucking cents an hour. I can guarantee you your job fucking sucks. You're doing something fucking shitty as hell. If you're earning $9.50, you're working the fucking drive-through. You're mopping the fucking floor. You're scrubbing fucking urinals. If you're fucking making $9.50 an hour, your job fucking sucks. And let me tell you what you ought to do, motherfuckers. Don't you take that fucking $300 away from these motherfuckers who earn that fucking $300 vacation. Pay these motherfuckers. If they're getting up every fucking day, putting on their embarrassing ass fucking uniform, putting on their fucking non-skid fucking shoes, and putting on their fucking visor, you need to pay those motherfuckers to show up at that motherfucking job and put up with your sorry ass motherfucking face. God bless you all. God bless fucking America. Thank you.
Whoa! $9.50 an hour? Shit. Thought I was doing great. You just made me feel, I don't even know.
Yeah,
I was
right.
doing great.
Yeah,
I
right.
was sitting here thinking, fuck, $9.50 an hour? I got at least $6.50 more than I was expecting.
$9.50 an hour. You couldn't even pay for this motherfucking place. $9.50 an hour. You and I both know it. That's some motherfucking bullshit.
I couldn't pay for it. Not for $9.50. I mean, I could. I just had to work 24 fucking
Yeah, right. Yeah.
7 days a
3
week.
fucking jobs, not even any overtime. 3 different
No.
fucking jobs.
No.
3 different
Yeah.
jobs.
That's what we would
$9.50
do.
every fucking hour of your goddamn life.
$9.50 an hour. And people do it.
Bragging about it. They're mad right now because nobody wants to. Man, people want to fucking work. They don't give a shit. They'll fucking go do a goddamn job. Pay them right, man. That's all I'm saying. Pay them right.
That's true. I get that.
Pay them
They
right.
do. It's crazy. When I think about just $9.50 an hour, and then you think about how many minutes are in an hour, and you think about what you do during that time, and like at the end of the day, you don't even get. First of all, you don't get $9.50.
Right.
You're gonna
You're
get
getting the whole
$9.50.
Right.
So you get $7.
You're getting $7 a fucking hour
You get $7
of your life.
of your life.
As it's ticking fucking by.
Yeah. You know what's a powerful thing that I've seen that I think about it more often than not. Actually, there's a Gary Vaynerchuk clip. You know who Gary Vaynerchuk is?
I've never met the dude.
You don't have to meet him. Do you just know who he is?
No.
Okay. Gary Vaynerchuk runs VaynerMedia. He's kind of like he's definitely a social media influencer for sure. Motivational speaker, ketone speaker. He's been known for just his bluntness with people. His bluntness. He just tells you, stop being fucking lazy. Go do what it is you got to do. Put in the work, and you'll get there. And he's always been criticized also for his obvious use of profanity, and especially the word fuck. But he has a clip where he talks about he's sitting on a park bench in like New York, and he talks about how lucky people are to be a human. How lucky are you of 1 in a bazillion chance that you become you?
Lucky
Right?
as fuck. I
Lucky
agree.
as fuck.
I agree with that part.
And he sits there and he's looking around. And he goes, look at all these motherfuckers walking around here like they're coming back. You're not coming back. You get one life.
Right.
And you're walking around like you're fucking, you're just walking around doing whatever. And you're walking around like you're going to fucking come back here. And you get one life. Take advantage of it. And a lot of people don't take advantage of it.
Yeah, man.
You
But
know?
okay, so he's mad at him for
He's
what?
not mad at him. He's just saying that when people put it out there that they they don't have this.
When
they
people
don't have that.
complain.
Right, when people complain, he says, look, you can get out there and you can put in the work, you can put in the time, and you can make something. You can whatever the obstacle is. He's got a real powerful speech about parents. How sometimes you just need to tell mom and dad, fuck you. Because a lot of people's parents hold them back.
What's his background?
His background, he spent 15 years. His parents owned a wine store,
shit.
a liquor store, right? So he worked at the liquor store from time he was like 15 to the time he was about 32 years old.
Oh shit.
So he worked his whole, like,
For his parents.
right, he worked for his parents.
Right.
He took the liquor store from like $3 million in revenue up to like $30 million in revenue. He did, when YouTube first came out, he did a YouTube show called Wine Library. He would sit at a table and he would record himself talking about the wine of the week. Nobody watched it. He made hundreds of videos, and he has a time-lapse thing on YouTube that just shows him just in front of this camera. No one watched it.
Right.
Over and over again. And then eventually people started to watch it. And people started to watch it. And he started to build momentum.
How long did it take? Just
Years.
Oh, man.
Years. He kept doing it. And so over the time, he built up this business up to $30 million. And when he was like 31 years old, he decided he was going to go do his own thing. He took no money from his parents. He pretty much worked for them for almost nothing, lived with them. While his friends were out partying, going to college, he was working all the time.
All right.
And so
I don't dislike the
He's a
dude.
hustler.
I like to
He's a
understand.
straight hustler. The
So only thing I
what
don't
he
like.
did-
The
well,
only
this
thing
is
I
what-
don't like is when people are like attacking the people
No.
that are trying.
No,
A
no,
lot
no,
of these
they
people
never
are
attack
trying,
people.
man. They're trying.
What he
man.
does put on people is patience. A lot of people want to be rich tomorrow. They want to be successful tomorrow. And so one thing that made him mad is he started VaynerMedia in a fucking basement.
Right.
With
I
a
know the
friend with
feeling.
no money.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he built VaynerMedia up to this $100-something million company. Right? And so people look at him and go, oh, Gary Vaynerchuk's an overnight success. And
Right.
he took serious
Right.
effect. You go, I've been working for 18 fucking years.
Right.
And then he takes that that same logic to like a sports guy, you know, someone who's famous for playing basketball. Oh, he's so amazing, you know, he's overnight. He's just amazing now.
Right.
He's been doing it for 30
No, I agree,
years.
man. I'll say that there ain't no overnight. I mean, look, you might see somebody that achieved overnight success.
Yeah.
But those are the rare people.
Very rare.
If somebody is successful, no matter what they've usually been doing that shit all their fucking life.
Well, and I would even argue that overnight success doesn't. We can't say, all right, let's say you do something today, and tomorrow you get 1 million views, and you get a deal, and you make $5 million, right? Is that really? Could we call that success? Because we don't know if that's a one-time hit.
Right. And that happens to people all the time.
All the time. When you look at someone like I know Rogan has a bit of.
You got to know what you're doing.
Right.
Once you get there.
Well,
like if you arrive at a certain point and people are like, all right, you got a deal, you got a record deal, you got drafted in the NBA. Right. There are busts.
Right.
There are people that sign big deals. There are people that get drafted number 1, first round. They go to the NFL, they get a big bonus, they're on the team, and they suck once they get there.
Right.
I think they stop working.
Yeah,
that's what happens to a lot of people. Once people that don't have that ethic, they shut down once they get a little bit of success, and then they don't make it.
There's a good conversation that Rogan has talking about Kevin Hart, because people like Kevin Hart's this big comedian, sells out arenas. He's in movies. He's this super successful guy, but people never talk about Kevin Hart when he was 19, going to open mic and bombing,
right?
And continuously go.
We both know that. We know what that's like. Yeah. Absolutely.
We don't see that. We only see Kevin Hart now.
Man, I've eaten shit so many times on a stage I can't even fucking say, man. I mean, just countless fucking times.
And so
I know.
It's crazy.
And I've crushed rooms, and it meant nothing. Right. I mean, every comic who's ever crushed a room, the first time they crushed the room, think that it's going to be some kind of life-changing fucking moment.
No.
And it's not. Nobody gives a fuck. They don't even give a shit about you the next week. You walk in the room and they're just like, dude, you weren't here on time. You're not going up. And you're just like, did you see my set? Did you see what I did last week? See how fucking good I was?
Comedy is really hard because it's never the same audience.
Brutal.
And just because one audience liked it,
nobody fucking cares.
They don't care. You know?
I've been doing this shit for fucking decades. All over the fucking country. Nobody gives a flying fuck.
I had a guy that I used to build some bikes for. I worked with him, and we built this motorcycle for him. And it was a Hayabusa, and it was this like Porsche theme bike. I built a bunch of custom body panels. I mean, real custom bike, over the top. Arguably, you could say that it was gaudy or ugly or whatever. He loved the shit out of it. And he would take it to bike shows and stuff, and people were like, people don't like it. And he goes, I don't get mad. He goes, I don't care if they don't like it. He goes, could you imagine spending $150 million to make a movie, and it comes out, and people just go, that was shitty.
People do it. It happens all the fucking time.
Every week. And he's like, yo, could you imagine spending all, like, 3 years of your life, all this money, you put heart and soul into it, and they're just like some fucking Joe Schmo is like, fucking sucks. And
and by the way, even if it's successful, somebody's going to think that.
Right.
There's somebody out there who's going to be like, I just don't like him. I don't care. I used to tell people all the time about when it came to stand-up. I was like, you get a group of people in a room, you bring up a stand-up comic, there's going to be maybe at least one person in the room thinks that guy's the greatest comic that ever lived, and there'll be somebody else in the same room that'll be like, that guy sucks, he's the worst, I can't stand him. You know, that's just life, man. You got that. You deal with it, you learn to accept it, you keep working hard as you fucking can. That's what we do. That's what everyone is out there doing. I respect it. I get the game. And the thing is, my idea of success isn't even money. I don't give a fuck. I honestly don't. Money to me is not a motivator. I said that when I was young and people thought I was crazy. I don't give a fuck about money. Money means nothing to me. I don't even fucking believe it's real. I don't believe in it at all. If something comes my way, fine. I'll figure out somebody to give it to, quite honestly, because I don't fucking need it and I don't want it. Anytime I've ever had money in my life, it's been a problem. That's no bullshit. Every time I've ever had fucking money, every time, and I never have it very long because I fucking blow it on stupid shit. I do dumb ass shit when I have money. So I don't, but what I do like, I like people that I don't know coming up to me for the first time and telling me that they like something I did. I love that. That to me motivates me more than anything. A complete fucking stranger.
Right.
Who does not know me. I've never spoken to them. I do not know their name, but they walk up to me and they're like, hey man, I saw you. Today was a bad day for me. I was not even going to go anywhere. I walked into this room. I was feeling down. And when you were done, I felt fucking great. And I just want to come say thank you. And to me, that is everything. And for me, that might be all there is because I didn't get no fucking money. I mean, it just hadn't happened. So,
yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, the whole thing, like, what brought me to open mics was just a rough time in my life. Like, I got divorced, moved out, and I didn't want to, you know, my thought was, it's hard to be sad around funny people. It's hard. Like, if you're around people that are just trying to, they're doing
most of those
everything they
motherfuckers are sad as fuck.
They are, but they're trying to make you laugh. That's their goal.
Some of them are just doing therapy, man. Honest to God, I've sat through a shitload of open mics, sometimes with 50 motherfuckers, and sometimes I'm up there watching a dude, and I'm like, man, this dude just wants to tell his sad story in front of the room, and I get it. I'll watch it. I always try to stay to the very last dude. I try. If I go to open mic, I'm gonna sit there for the last dude because I know I'm gonna hear something interesting, even if it's not funny.
Right.
You know, I remember a dude that lost his wife to the wedding photographer.
No shit. Oh, damn.
And he wasn't even able to tell the story in a funny way. He was almost crying by the time he finished telling it, so he could tell it was a real story.
Right.
And I was like, man, I'll never forget that in my life. I heard that story 25 fucking years ago, probably.
Wow.
At an open mic workshop. Not even an open mic. We were just at a workshop at a club where they were letting us for like 3 hours on Saturday afternoon. We could sit in there and go over shit with each other.
Right.
Like 10 people. And it was a fucking therapy session. There was nothing humorous going on in the room. It was just a bunch of sad variety of people. One guy had a puppet. One guy carried around a hammer. I don't even know why. Every time I saw him, he always had a fucking hammer.
What kind of hammer was it though? Like a framing hammer?
I don't know, man. I don't feel like it was part of his craft. I felt like it was a weapon. I felt like he carried it around as a weapon.
He's like, it doesn't go well.
Right.
We're gonna fucking crack some.
Yeah. He had a hammer in his hand, and then he had a hand-drawn poster of a washing machine, and he would take turns intermittently washing imaginary articles of clothing that he did not have with him while he was holding a hammer. And then the dude with the puppet would go up, and the dude with the puppet looked exactly like him. So it was him talking to himself in puppet form. I'm telling you, man, and that's just one place, one time. Man, I've seen fucking everything, everywhere.
You never know what you're gonna get when you go to open mic.
That's why you stay. That's why you always fucking
Just
stay.
wait it out.
You always say, even the dude that you see him week after week, and he always bombs. I'll tell you what my favorite thing to see happen in an open mic is. You see some guy that's just like fucking week after week, just eats it. And then finally one week, he's fucking tired of just the whole scene. And he's just fucking sick of going up there and being ignored and not being laughed at, and just goes up and fucking goes off. And it is fucking hilarious. And I'm always like, yes, do it. I'll fucking get excited for that shit. That's
awesome.
that's the best
so
part of it.
funny.
Yeah, man.
Comedy's tough. Comedy's really hard, and right now, like, we have so many comedians that are struggling with the cancel culture topic. And there's one, you know who got canceled this week? Tony Hinchcliffe.
I don't know. I don't watch comics. I don't know anything about comics. I don't know what they do. I intentionally don't watch well-known, famous, professional comedians on purpose. I just I root for them. I want everybody to do well, but what I heard, I read about it.
I'll tell you what
I saw a headline or something about it.
Hinchcliffe ran a show, a live show. He did it in different comedy clubs. Recently, he's been doing it at Antone's in Texas, where his whole thing, it was live on YouTube. He would have a table set up in a club, and it was basically an open mic. So he had him, he had maybe Brian Redband, and he had maybe some other like pro guests come on, you know, that would show up on the show. And what they would do is they would have a bucket. Everyone put their name in the bucket that was in the audience. They draw a name out. You come up. You get 60 seconds.
Nice.
To do comedy.
That's fucking fire.
60
That's under
seconds.
fire. I
Then,
like it.
what they would do is after the 60 seconds were up, he would ask them about themselves. Who are you? What's something interesting about you? They would talk back and forth. He would and they would actually kind of try to get to know that comic a little bit, and then they would throw, you know, a little bit of roast, a little bit of jokes at them and stuff, and they kind of go back and forth.
Right.
And
I got you.
Tony was a little bit more, he's a little bit more of a roaster kind of host in a way.
Right.
So
I ain't crazy about that, but go ahead.
It's cool. And
Some people like it. People like it. Everybody likes different things.
Right.
People like that shit.
It's a huge stage to be up there as a comic in front of professional comics.
Right.
You know, like.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, you
people.
give somebody a chance like that, and then you rip them.
Well, but it's not ripping them in a degrading or distasteful way. It's ripping them and then also saying, like, you know what, you did great, you had a good set. Or if they didn't have a good set, he would even come up and still be like, well, that didn't go as planned, but maybe, you know, we'll see you next time. And there are people that get up there multiple times.
Fair enough. So what happened? What
happened is he was actually not doing that show. He was doing an actual set at another, I don't think it was at Antone's. I'd have to look it up. I don't think it was at Antone's.
Right.
At another place. The comic who brought him up on stage was an Asian comic, and I don't know what that guy's set was about, but Tony's, when he got up there, he basically said, he called him a dirty fucking chink, is what he called him. And I don't know what the context.
You think that's what he called him? Or
I think that's what he called him. I think that it was either stupid. Fucking, it was definitely fucking chink.
Was the word.
Right. Chink was the derogatory term that he used to describe. And we just talked about Asian and racism.
Wow.
But I don't know in what as a comedian, if the context was supposed to be funny or if the context was supposed to be like, that's Tony just trying to be mean to him for no reason.
You know,
either way, the comedian that he said it to took a clip of it because it was being recorded, the show.
Which everything is now.
Right, everything's recorded. Posted it to social media and said that it wasn't okay. And Tony's management company dropped him. Antone said he's not allowed to come back to Antone's anymore. They do not support any of this stuff. And they basically canceled Tony Hinchcliffe in a matter of a day. This is pretty wild. But in comedy, there's a line. And it's a fine line because someone else could have said it.
I don't think it's that. See, I'll tell you my opinion. I'll tell you my opinion because I've seen that happen at open mics where people have said something offensive enough for the host at the open mic to yank them. I've seen people get kicked out of the room. I don't know if you know who Michael Richards is.
Yep.
I saw Michael Richards and what he did out in LA a few years ago. Here's what I would say to all of them. Because I push the limits on stage as much as anybody. I will cover any topic. I will cover anything. I will do anything on stage that I believe will. But you don't ever. The one rule, in my opinion, and it's not a fine line. It's a real distinct, clear fucking line, is you don't attack somebody who's less powerful than you are.
That's fair.
The only person that you attack, the only people you go after are the people that are more powerful than you, bigger than you, stronger than you. You don't ever hit down. And if you hit down, you're gonna, and that's, to me, that's why this whole cancel culture thing I don't buy it. I think it's made up shit. It's not, look, it's don't be a dick. We do a segment on this show. Don't be a dick. And the person who's being a dick isn't being a dick because they're saying something to insult somebody who's above them.
Right.
You can attack people above you. I do it all day long. I attack everybody. My whole passion is attacking the government and the people that have been elected by us to serve us.
Right.
And the people who are in charge of us at our jobs. But not my coworkers, not the people that are, on the level that I'm at, not even the people that are out there that are struggling. You just don't hit down. And if you hit down, you're going to get bit. And to me, in my opinion, cancel culture, if that's what you want to call it, what you're getting is your comeuppance and what you deserve.
Okay,
And
fair.
and
This is what he
you
said.
should be aware of it.
This is what he actually said. He said, when the guy came up, he said, how about one more time for the filthy effing chink that was just up here? All you effing race traders are hooping and hollering. I was back there watching you puking in an effing bucket. He said, then he used a fake Asian accent and said, oh, we make gunpowder. Oh, you want extra soy sauce. Oh, you borrow money from us. Switching to his regular voice. Are you guys just eating it up? So that was the clip. And it was, but what's crazy about it is somebody else could have said something equally degrading. And it,
What do you
in
mean?
a different room of people with a different person watching, it'd have been completely okay. That's what's crazy about comedy. A different comedian could have been like, you've been an asshole, but whatever. This guy took offense. But we just talked about last week or Thursday about racism toward Asians and how I'm like, they don't ever say anything. This guy said something. He stood up for himself and said, this is not okay, which is great. And like you said,
I don't remember what we talked about last time.
It, and you were like, well, no, it happens. We just act like they don't exist at all, which is true. And it's crazy to me because, and so props to the guy for standing up to himself.
Yeah, man,
and,
look.
And Tony crossed the line with what he said.
Crossed the line, way past the line. Look, what he said and what we were saying he said wasn't even close. Dude, sorry, you can't do that.
Right.
And if you're him, look, you have not, and I have not, achieved that level of success.
Right.
I can assure you, and I can tell you this, as I'm aspiring for us to one day become successful. If you do that shit, I'll cancel your ass right there too.
And that's
I can't.
Isn't that kind of like the irony is that the guys who aren't known, they can get away with saying shit like that because no one knows them. We cancel them.
No, we can't. But we hopefully what'll be a part of accomplishing what we accomplish is that we won't. You don't do that.
Right.
Like I said, man, the rule is clear. It's not a fine line. It's not difficult to not cross. You do not punch down. The dude is the big dude.
Right.
He's the main dude. He's who everybody came
guy.
to see. And then you got a guy out there who's working, who's struggling, who to him, and I can say this from being in his spot, that's his big break. That's his moment. He's getting to introduce this guy.
Right.
He's getting to bring this guy up on stage who he looks up to, who he admires. You and I both know how hard he had to work to get that spot. How many people wanted that spot? Everybody wanted that spot to be able to bring that famous guy up. I've brought famous people up on stage before. I brought plenty of famous people up on stage. I've emceed a shitload in my life. I brought a lot of motherfuckers. I brought Billy Gardell up on fucking stage back before Billy Gardell was Billy Gardell. I brought all the fucking redneck, blue collar motherfuckers. I've worked with every single one of them motherfuckers. I brought them all up on stage. I know what that feels like. And I can fucking tell you this. If any one of them had attacked, and none of them did, by the way, every single one of them that I ever brought up that was somebody of any renown, and there was more. I worked at a club down in Tampa, Florida called Side Splitters that had a famous comic in there every single fucking weekend. And I was all but the house MC. So for about 2 or 3 years, I brought people up all the fucking time. every week, working as hard as I could to do a good job in front of them and bring them up. And did a live audition where 35 fucking comics got 30 seconds each to audition for the spot. So I know how hard it was to get that spot. And motherfucker, I can promise you, if one of those motherfuckers had said jack fucking shit about me, I'd have gone right back up on stage and laid him fucking out, famous or not, on the fucking spot. He did the right thing. Dude, don't treat people that way. If you got canceled, sorry for you. Will you get a chance to make a comeback? Maybe so.
Right. Yeah,
Maybe
it happened
so.
for Richards, did it? He never made a comeback.
No, he
was
hasn't.
done.
He hasn't, but his was 1,000 times worse than what this guy did. 1,000. I'm not even going to say what he did. Folks, if you want to look up what Michael Richards did, look up what Michael Richards did. But he's done and should be. Should be. There's no apologizing for what he did. There's no coming back from what he did. Nobody wants anything to do with him, and nobody ever will. And when I saw it, I would never watch it again. It was that fucking painful. And I don't know if you remember, but they brought him on the Letterman show. They had Jerry Seinfeld on the Letterman show the next night after that happened, and they brought him on for Seinfeld, who was about to release his 600 episode fucking CD set of the show, and this was headlining over top of him releasing those fucking CDs, and they brought Michael Richards on to try to explain what happened, and what could he say?
What could you say?
Nothing.
And that was prior to like all of the stuff we have now, technology and instant and YouTube and
This was back. I don't think it was even recorded on a phone. I think that was recorded on an actual camera, on a camera at the club.
Yeah,
it was bad. It was bad. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. And I said to myself, as I watched it, and I watched it once and I would never watch it again, I said to myself, he's done.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever hire him again.
I can't even think of a comic that has said something even remotely close to as bad as Richard. Honestly, Hinchcliffe's probably the second closest at this point.
Well, I don't know. First of all, there's a lot of people out there that said some bad shit. There's a lot of people out there that said some bad shit.
Not for saying shit.
You know, I don't.
Pretty good, but
who?
Dane Cook.
Did he?
He went away for a while. He was like.
Well, what's his name? Louis C.K.
Yeah, but Louis didn't say anything.
That wasn't on stage.
That was outside of stage.
Absurd behavior.
Yeah, but we can honestly say that Louis does. He has said some things that were definitely on the edge of being not okay.
Well,
in
again,
his bits.
you got to decide, man.
I get what you're saying though with punching up. Like if the Asian comic, if the roles were reversed and the comic going that was introducing the Asian guy was let's say Hinchcliffe wasn't him. He was the guy bringing him up, and he had said something, a punch at the guy above him, and then they went back and forth. Maybe it would have been different. But I get what you're saying. It's way worse when
even then what he said crosses whatever line.
Yeah.
Can you punch up? Yeah, but look, if I'm bringing Chappelle up on stage, if I'm bringing Chris Rock up on stage, if I'm bringing Kevin Hart up on stage, I'm bringing them up on stage with respect.
Right.
I'm bringing them up on stage for the audience that is there to see them.
Right.
And you got it, and you better understand that, and that better be clear. What's that fucking guy that works with the puppets?
Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham.
Yeah.
I got fired by Jeff Dunham in New York a week after 9/11, emceeing for him at Bananas in New York City, and I got fired by Jeff Dunham because my set wasn't clean enough.
Really?
And he wanted a clean set in front of him, and I thought I did one. I tried. That's why I do what I do now, because I don't give a fuck. So if you want me now, you're going to see who I am, what I say, how I act.
It should be. It should be unapologetic.
And they knew that going into that situation, and they were like, well, we're going to hire you to work for Dunham, but you got to be clean. I was like, what the fuck do you want me to say? I don't even know what the fuck to say. So I went up there and did what I thought was right. He fired me. That's cool. I'm not mad at him. No hard feelings. Hire somebody else. Get somebody that's right for the gig, not me. But dude, if you're the guy, you just can't, especially with the racial the dirty and the calling him, man, come on, man.
Yeah,
you can
right,
you're better
man.
than that.
You can do better.
We're there's and I know there's 50,000 comics competing for every paid gig that exists.
Right.
50,000, not just 50,000 people that want to do it, that are spending most of their life and sacrificing their sanity, their time, their money, their effort. What the fuck is this? What the fuck are you doing? Jesus Christ! I got a dog right on my fucking crotch. I thought there was only one big ass fucking dog. Now the little one's even fucking worse.
Yeah, it's a little
God
dog.
damn!
He's
All right,
real loving.
bro. I got you.
He's super
You're
happy
good.
to see people. He loves people.
You're good. What the shit? Anyway. So anyway, no, I'm saying just if there's that many people out there that are trying to get that gig, you're good. They're trying to get that gig. You got to have the level of respect for each other, just for each other, man. We should never go up there and rip each other. And I hope he doesn't. And we'll move on because I don't dislike that dude. I hope he comes back.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure.
It should be a while before he does.
I'm sure it'll be a little bit. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next segment here, which is critical shit.
Oh shit!
Critical shit is current events, things that are happening right now.
Goddamn right.
Right fucking now.
Let's take a look at some critical
Right now.
fucking shit.
And so you wanted to start this thing off with Russia.
Goddamn fucking right, man. What the fuck? I'm tired of fucking Russia fucking with us all the goddamn time. Fucking with our elections. Fucking with our gas line. I don't know if these motherfuckers are doing that shit through the fucking government or just some fucking random ass Russian motherfuckers. But I'll fucking tell you something. I'm tired of that shit. What the fuck can we do? What are we gonna do back? What are we gonna? When I was young, man, we didn't. The Russians did not fuck with us. Once we kicked the shit out of them in fucking hockey, that was it. Those motherfuckers knew that was their fucking sport. We went to the Olympics. We kicked the fucking shit out of them in hockey. Every time they tried some bullshit after that, we would look at them and be like, bro, we beat you in fucking hockey. That's your fucking sport. We sent a bunch of college-age Americans and whipped your fucking grown adult ass 24-hour a day playing hockey, motherfuckers. We kicked the shit out of you. Don't fuck with us. And now it's fucking every time I turn around, the Russians are doing some fucking shit, and I don't like it.
There's a certain level of our government, the people in charge that just fear Russia. They fear that Russia is not going to. They're not going to fuck.
What are they fucking afraid of? The fuck are they afraid of?
They're afraid of war.
Afraid of war? The Russians aren't gonna fucking fight us.
Why not?
What the fuck do the Russians have that they can fucking do to us?
People who will die for them immensely.
No. Let me tell you something about the Russians.
They fear Russia more. The people in Russia fear Russia more than they fear anything else.
The people in Russia hate the fucking government of Russia more than they fucking hate the Americans. I can fucking promise you. We could knock out like 10 of the top fucking Russians, and that would be the end of the fucking conflict, because other people in Russia would be happy as fuck.
I don't know. Russia seems like the
You think they like Putin?
No, they don't like him. They fear Putin.
Right.
It's just like
exactly.
It's like a not so bad, but it's similar to like North Korea. They just fear.
Well, no. I'll say North Korea. I think
way worse.
Because that's not fear. That's lack of any fucking that is a news bubble. Well, no, they're not even aware of any other. People are born and raised in prison camps in fucking North Korea. Right. They're not even aware that the world outside of that country exists, and the only things that they hear about it are bad. Yeah. So they're not necessarily in Russia. They've got free access to media. They fucking know what's going on in the world. They can't stand their government. They're fucking living on potatoes. They're fucking miserable as shit.
I don't know about that. But I mean,
would you want to live in Russia? Would you want to live in Russia?
I've never been to Russia. I don't know enough about culture in Russia.
It's cold as fuck.
I mean, it's definitely cold.
They can't grow a goddamn thing.
Big country, man.
They can't grow a goddamn thing. They don't have any way to grow. It's fucking cold. The goddamn ground is frozen. It's fucking frozen.
It's a big country, man.
It's a big country in a cold ass fucking part of the world. It's fucking freezing over there all the goddamn time, and they can't grow shit.
There's a reason why people don't fuck with them. There has to be.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't understand why we don't retaliate against them in some way and send them a fucking message.
But look at
I'm
all
not
the
talking
time-
about a war. I'm not talking about bombing them. I'm talking about, you know what we do? We kick out their fucking ambassadors. Every time in the last 10 years, I feel like how many more ambassadors do they fucking have here? We kick them out every time. It's like we just kicked out their ambassadors. I'm like, I thought they were already gone. I didn't even think they were around. We don't invite them to meetings. Big fucking shit. They don't care. We don't do anything with any fucking teeth.
Right.
Do something with some fucking teeth. I think we should do something to them where they're like, holy fucking, you're going to tell me we can't hack the Russians better than the Russians can fucking hack us? Are you fucking kidding me?
There's a part of our government that doesn't want to fuck with that.
The part of our government that doesn't want to fuck with them are the people that benefit from fucking doing business with Russia, and they make fucking money, and they're driven by fucking money instead of what's best for this goddamn country. I'm driven by what's best for this goddamn country. And let me tell you something, I'm standing in a fucking gas line, and I can't get any fucking gas because dumbass motherfuckers are filling up fucking bags. I'm saying to myself, let's fucking do something to the fucking Russians to send them a goddamn message so they don't fucking do this shit again. I don't understand. I am baffled by the fact, and they fuck with our election. They're sending over fucking fake videos. They're not even trying. People are like, oh, they wanted Trump to win. They want to fucking, I don't, all they want to do is make us all hate each other. They don't give a shit about who wins or loses.
I'd agree with that. They really just, it's crazy to the level of, honestly, the level of intelligence used against us through Russia. It's not a bunch of monkeys over there just figuring stuff out. They looked at, when they talked about meddling in the 2016 election, they didn't hack anything.
Highly manipulative. They used the tools that we already had. They acted like Americans. They come over and they're just like, let me put this little message on Facebook. Let me put this little tweet out. Let me do this fucking shit.
Yeah,
and they're doing it. And people, in a mind manipulative way, people are like, holy fucking shit, I gotta react to that fucking tweet. Oh my God, did you see that fucking post? And it's affecting the way, and then people are fighting over shit that's not even fucking real.
That's the craziest part, and it's how effective it was.
Right?
Unbelievably effective.
Do they want any specific person to win or lose or what? I don't think they fucking care. I think what they want is they want to make sure that the two sides of this country, which irritates the living fuck out of me that we have two sides. I think they just want us to fight each other all the fucking time about everything. I think they want us to be as mad as fuck with each other as we possibly can. And I don't understand why we can't fucking do something to them. And I'm not an amazing military strategist or political strategist. I don't have a devious mind. I wish I had a devious mind sometimes. I don't have a devious mind. But we got people over here that got devious fucking minds.
Oh, definitely.
We got some motherfuckers in this goddamn country. They got some devious ass fucking minds. We should even look. We got people. We got more prisoners, people in fucking jail than anybody in the goddamn whole world. Everybody, half the goddamn country's in fucking prison right now. You're gonna tell me that we can't just toss that out in a couple of prisons and be like, hey guys, the Russians keep fucking with us. We need one of y'all motherfuckers to come up with a little fucking shit that we can fucking do. If a rival gang was fucking with your gang, we got some gangs in this country that are more powerful than the fucking Russians.
Okay.
And we can't toss out the fucking throw a little cash on there and be like, all right, man, we can give you a couple bucks.
I know it's weird. Russia's a weird place when you talk about like how that power struggle. Yeah, there's no struggle. How Putin just gets away.
Iron fist, bro.
Yeah, iron fist.
He wins with 87% of the vote, and you got to believe that the 13% that didn't vote for him are all gonna die.
That's very true. It's a wild thing. All right, we'll move it on. The next one here that you want to talk about was something I honestly have no fucking thing on whatsoever.
We don't have to spend a lot of time on it.
But you got Tim Tebow on the list.
I just am curious why he's still making news. I love the dude. I get it. He's a great athlete. He won the Heisman in college. He was a first round draft pick. He was a great college football player. He was, I guess, a little bit of a bust in the NFL. He won a playoff game when he was in Denver. And now here it is. He went and played baseball. He's done all kinds of shit. He's always in the fucking news for something. He's always in the news. You know anything about him? If you ever heard of him?
His name.
You know his name.
I couldn't tell you what team he played on.
Do you know what he looks like?
No.
If you saw a picture of Tim Tebow, would you know it's Tim Tebow?
I'd walk right by. I wouldn't know. The thing about, like, quarterbacks get all the credit, don't they? Quarterbacks get 100% of the credit.
Right.
And I don't think that's fair. This is the reason honestly I find most sports boring. I watch fights. I watch UFC because when those guys enter the octagon, there's no one to blame. There's no team. It's just you and me, and there's a winner and there's a loser, and there's no bullshit. You win, you lose, and you take it hard or you take it like a champ, whatever. But when you're like, oh, Tim Tebow took him to the fucking whatever, the championship, and won the. No, motherfuckers, like,
there you go.
There's like 100 players on the team.
That's exactly my point. I don't understand why this. First of all, let's be clear so that you know. I know you know nothing about the story. He's not even coming back as a quarterback.
Really?
No. He's played quarterback all his goddamn life. And his coach from when he was in college, coach when he was in college is bringing him back to play another position in the NFL 10 years after the last time he played in the NFL.
He hasn't played in 10 years?
He hasn't played in 10 years.
Seriously?
He hadn't played in 10 years in the NFL. And now his coach from college got hired as a professional coach for a team and is bringing him back to play tight end, which is basically like a lineman. I mean, the dude's as big as a house. He's not going to play quarterback. They just picked the number one quarterback out of college.
Wow.
And they're bringing him on to play tight end. And they've been talking about it non-fucking stop on ESPN. I'm just curious why people are so fascinated by it, but I guess you're not. All right, so if you like the fighting, then let's switch to fighting real quick, just before we do our last critical shit. Some dude, I watched two great. It was a very well hyped fight this weekend.
Yep.
One dude who I thought would never get beaten was winning in the first round and almost had the dude knocked out. I don't know if you know what fight I'm talking about.
Michael Chandler.
And it looked like he was going to coast to victory.
Yeah, it did.
And then in the next round, he gets fucking. What the fuck happened? Tell me what happened.
Because that was Michael
that's your
Chandler
sport. I'll let you talk a little bit.
And Oliveira there. And here's the thing about fighting. And it takes a lot out of you to go in there and fight people.
Okay.
Now, Michael Chandler, I'd say he's a little pit bull. He's got a lot of energy. He's got a lot of power. And he comes out very aggressive. Oliveira was going to play the game a little bit more cautious.
A little thinner, too.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a little bit skinnier guy.
Like a wiry guy.
But he was, one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in the UFC. What weight class were they? They were 155 pounds. Right, so weigh in. So Chandler probably about 165, 168 pounds by the time they fought. A little bit bigger. So he definitely hit Oliveira in the first round, and he dropped down.
Oliveira saved him, right?
No, the bell didn't save him. What happened is he hit him. Oliveira dropped down, and he was going to recover.
Wobbly went down.
It definitely rocked him. There's no doubt about it. It rocked him. His instinct, and most people who have a good ground game, their instinct, if they get rocked, is I need to hold on to him. I need to get close to him. I need to take him to the ground so I can. Once they hit the ground, they have time to recover. It doesn't take long. If you get hit and you're not knocked out, it only takes maybe 20, 30 seconds to recover from that and get your bearings back.
In a fight, that's a long time.
It is a long time. But if you can grab a hold of a motherfucker and hold on to him, you can make it. So he was on the ground, on all fours, he was reaching for Chandler's feet. Chandler was still hitting him. And he was able to just get through it and recover through the hits. Now, some people, when Jacob was over here last night, he's like, oh, it should have stopped it. But because he wasn't defending himself. But he was still moving forward. He's still progressing toward trying to grab him. And he was able to get up. Chandler just didn't finish him off.
Now, in that situation, and I don't know, the referee obviously can see somebody taking a beating. And the thing that's scary about that.
They will stop.
About that sport. Right. The thing that's scary to me about that sport is that, and the reason that I don't think I could have ever, and obviously I'm at this point in my life and I can ever do anything like that, but I usually look at a sport and always think about how I can do, no matter what it is,
right.
How can I do in that sport? I look at that And I see these guys, and boxing is different. I fought 3 times professionally. Boxing. But if you're rocked in boxing, you're getting a count. You're getting a 10 count.
Arguably,
if you're
more
rocked in
dangerous.
that sport, you could be almost unconscious, and the dude is either compelled or has the desire to continue to beat you unconscious or until the referee stops it. I'm curious. First of all, I think the referee, a lot of times, these guys could kill these guys.
Well, what made it different in that fight is the stakes were the lightweight title. That's the thing.
So
if you
there's a
stop it
belt
early-
on the line.
Belt on the line. If you stop it early, where he's clearly could have recovered, arguably in the biggest fight of his life. So he gave him a little bit of leeway there, and yeah, he got rocked, but he wasn't down. He wasn't arms failing. Now, when you go and look at, all right, so the second round, so that was toward the end of the first round.
Right,
Right,
and
so
that's
then
crazy
the
because
bell
you
goes,
think
cool, he
at that
survived.
time, you got to be thinking at that time, both corners. Like if I'm the corner man in this,
Time's up.
you're saying to the one guy, you got this. I'm looking at
right.
I'm looking at the dude. I'm like, dude, you got this. Your strategy is working. What you're doing is right. Keep doing what
Difference
you're doing.
is you
And
get a
then
minute
the other
or
guy,
30 seconds or whatever to sit in that corner. Well, between rounds, that's all the time it needs. They get a little water. He sits down. He thinks about it, and they adjust, and they go out there. And Oliveira said, "I'm going to knock him out." And Chandler, he had all the momentum, all the energy, all the adrenaline. He had 30 seconds for the adrenaline to wear off and come out there and think, okay, this is what I got. Oliveira had 30 seconds to go, all right, I got rocked. I'm not going to do that again.
I got to recover.
We're going to come back out and do something. And he did. He came back out. He was
So
great.
one of them's getting
and he
good
cooked
guidance.
them.
One of them's getting shitty guidance.
It's not really shitty guidance. One of them has 100% forward momentum. The other one had
But
reverse
you got
momentum.
guys,
turns it
you
around.
got trainers, you got coaches, you got
Oh, yeah,
somebody
they
that
got
you trust.
hyped up,
They're they're supposed to be not just hyping you up. It's not about just if you're in that position,
Yeah,
you're
adjust
a professional
your-
guy. You got a corner
what you're gonna
guy.
do.
Their corner guy is supposed to be giving you, all right, here's where we are. Here's where we want you to go. Here's what you need to do. I don't understand.
Well, what's
now
crazy-
what happened when the round? So how long did it go into the second round? Because
It wasn't
next
long.
round, yeah,
I
right.
want to say it was like within a minute and
Right,
a half. I mean,
right.
and he just, it takes one good hit. And he
Right,
rocked
sure.
him.
Yeah, I
He
get
went
it.
down. He got on top of
But
him.
you got to
and
be.
he was-
You
and
got.
Chandler was starting to
Obviously, he's
recover.
trained. You're expecting
Yeah.
that.
Chandler was starting to recover, and Oliveira just didn't let up, and he was able to knock him down again. And this time, obviously he was unable to get up and defend himself, so they stopped it. But what's crazier, the fight, two
So the
fights before
referee is
that.
looking for a specific. Is there a specific look that somebody gets in their
there
eyes?
is. Yeah, there's two things. Either their eyes roll back in the head and they're unconscious, or they're completely non-defensive at all. You're not able to cover up.
They're not.
Yeah, right. They get knocked out and they're done. So what's the craziest knockout I've ever seen was last night, and it was two fights before that. The guys were fighting. One of them takes, it was in I want to say it was in the second round. He takes a straight jab to the forehead. Then he takes a right hook to the chin. He's standing there looking at him, dead in the eye. About 4 seconds go by. He starts doing this, and he starts stepping back and falls down unconscious. Crazy as shit. It was delayed. He got hit twice. Delayed reaction. It almost looked like a bad fall. But he was out. He was unconscious. It was a delayed.
That's happened in history, though.
It was a delayed blood. Yeah, it was
Few times in boxing. In fact,
Crazy.
There's guys that have been knocked out that have died later.
Oh yeah, you
You
can't see
know,
a star
their
in your brain.
reaction.
It's pretty wild. But the fight game it can be controversial, but a lot of times it's not. It's pretty straightforward. And, Chandler went in post-fight conference. He's like, look, I went in strong. I went in aggressive. I was doing good. Feeling good, and I just zigged when I should have zagged. And that's all it takes. And then, you wake up, and this other guy's got the belt.
And it ended Ronda Rousey's career.
Yeah, it ended. I mean,
There's people
Well,
out there
the fight before that, Tony Ferguson, I was really rooting for Ferguson. I'm a big Tony Ferguson fan. I like watching him fight. And it wasn't a very exciting fight to watch because Beneil just kind of kept him on the ground. But he had Tony in an ankle lock that was brutal. And you saw him just lean back and he popped something And Tony's face, you saw the agony and pain in his face for about 1 second. And then Tony started throwing kicks to the body with his other leg. And Beneil let go of the ankle lock. And Tony went all 3 rounds to decision. He lost the fight. And Beneil in the post-fight conference said, well, what did you think about the fight? And he goes, how did he not tap? How did that man not tap? He goes, I heard it pop. I know it popped. Something popped in his ankle, his knee. Something is damaged. And you saw it in his face. And then he went into zombie mode and just kept coming at it. It was wild. And Tony fought Oliveira, the guy who won last night over Chandler. That was Tony's last fight. And Oliveira had him in the grossest armbar I've ever seen. He did not tap. His elbow was the wrong direction. He did not tap, still finished the fight. Tony Ferguson, one tough son of a bitch. But yeah, it's the fight game. It's wild, man. It's wild.
That's why people don't.
Jacare Souza got his arm broken in armbar last night. Arm straight broken, upper arm. It was wild. But we'll move on to the next one because it's going to be even better. Masks.
Oh, here we go.
Masks and vaccines,
Here we go.
buddy.
I've been even waiting for this.
Oh,
First of all, that's why I put it last.
I don't even know how we even missed this already.
I put it last because I knew it was going to be the one you anticipated
Fucking
the
masks.
most. Well, okay. Well, I agree. Fucking.
Yeah.
I mean,
let me get.
today was the first day in almost a year. First day in almost a year that I was able to stroll through Walmart with no mask on. I had no mask on. There's no sign up anymore.
Really?
I was not alone in Walmart with no mask. I was probably one of, out of 100 people that I encountered, I was one of 5 to 6 that had no mask on. And the reason I didn't have my mask on because I lost it on my way there. I lost my mask. And I got to Walmart. I was like, fuck, I don't have a mask. I'm about to go in here and buy a mask. I walked in. Nobody said anything to me. I kind of looked around. I was like, oh, man, ain't nobody saying nothing about my mask. Walking through. I was like, fuck, ain't nobody saying shit. I got my shit. Saw a couple people with no masks on. We didn't acknowledge that a lot of people had them on.
Right.
And I thought to myself, all right, are we turning a corner?
So have you been a masker this whole time? You've been wearing, I mean, obviously in your job, you probably have to wear a mask.
I have to wear a job.
Because you're in the service industry.
At work, I have to wear one, which I hate. I worked for almost a year at a place where we didn't, even when we were supposed to. And I mean, look, I don't even know if I've had the fucking shit or not. I've never been tested. 3 times I've got what I thought was a cold during the past year. Never for longer than a day. One time it was very, very severe for one day. Out of the 3 times of the year, you're monitoring your health more than any other time in your life.
Right.
Because of all the shit that's going on. So you're paying attention to what the fuck's going on. There was one day where I was blowing my nose literally every 30 seconds the whole day. And I was like, this could be it. I might have it. Well, the next day I was fine. And I worked through the day. I don't know if that makes me a bad guy or not. I had a mask on. I had to keep taking a mask off and blowing my nose and fucking go back to work. I don't want to wear a mask. I'm not even a good-looking guy. A mask actually helps me out. A mask makes me better looking than I am without a mask. If I could be wearing a mask, the first time I saw people in masks, it freaked me the fuck out. I remember driving to the Walmart. I was staying with my sister during quarantine. And I drove to the Walmart in some fucking place in Virginia.
Okay.
Like in the Eastern Shore. We're in the Eastern Shore of Virginia. I drove to my sister's. I stayed with her for like 3 months. I drove to the Walmart where she lives. That's the only thing they've got in the whole fucking town is a Walmart. That's it. That's all they have.
Right.
And I drove there, and the first time I drove there and saw everybody in a goddamn mask, I was like, I called her from the parking lot. I was like, everybody's wearing a mask. It wasn't mandatory. Nobody had, just everybody. I'm looking, everybody's, and I was like, fuck. And I put one on, and I was like, what the fuck? I felt
It's funny. That's fine. I've been pretty much anti-mask the whole time. I think when it first started.
Have you ever put one on?
Yeah, man, look.
You don't have to at your job.
Only person
you don't have to at your job because you own a fucking.
Yeah, no, I don't, and I don't even encounter people really at all. So I don't really deal with the public. But when I go places, I'm still like, this is fucking stupid.
Do you have one with you and carry it around?
No, I don't. I don't even keep one in my car. The kids have masks. The kids have to wear them at school. They have their masks, but if I'm going into Publix or something, or I'm going into Walmart or wherever I'm going, I'm like, this is fucking. The only time, there's one time where someone said to me, you have to have a mask on or you have to leave. And it was at Goodwill.
I've heard it a lot.
It was at Goodwill. And this woman,
I got fired for not wearing them.
This woman came up to me and she goes, you have to have a mask on. And I was like, why? And I said, I literally said this. I said, can I do this? Can I just do this right here? And she goes, no, it has to be a mask. And I looked and there was an employee behind her. And he had a mask like this, nose out. And I said, well, this guy behind you, he doesn't have a mask. I mean, he's not wearing it. So what are we doing? And I look around and everyone's walking around with a mask just covering half their chin. And I said, what are we really doing here? She goes, well, we have to have one.
She's the wrong person to fucking have the argument.
Yeah, well, yeah. But, I was just like, this is silly. But anywhere else, no one's ever said anything to me about it. So I was like, cool. You know what? That's fine. I mean...
Do you know what is the current policy?
I don't know. Do what you want. Live your life. Current policy is what they're trying to say is that if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask.
That's the current. So
how do they know?
Right.
You don't fucking know.
I was at Walmart today. Look, not only was I not vaccinated, and look, I ain't no liberal, ain't no Democrat. I don't follow none of that shit. I don't give a fuck about those people at all. They could think one thing, I don't give a shit. I don't listen to what they think. I don't care what they think. But I will say this. There is no fucking way on God's green earth, as long as I'm a living fucking human being and have blood pulsing through my body, that you are putting that fucking shot in my fucking body. You're putting that shot in my fucking body after I've done everything I can do to fucking kill you. I am not putting that ever. In fact, not only that shot, I don't give a fuck what else comes. Because let me assure you, this shit ain't over. Anybody who thinks that because of what happened, that we got a vaccine and now everything's back to normal. Look, another fucking thing is coming. And it's probably going to be fucking worse. People are going to be literally walking around like fucking zombies. You're going to see people with sores and shit on their face and fucking staggering down the fucking road and all kinds of dead corpses laying in the fucking ground. There ain't no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how bad it gets. I'm not putting on a fucking goddamn mask again. I'm done with the mask. I got to wear it at work. I'll wear it at work. But outside of that,
no. When they came out and said, "Oh, well, now if you're vaccinated, you can go outside and ride a bike," where have you been?
Right?
We have been doing that.
Well, first of all along, the second I walked outside, first thing I did, I can't breathe with the goddamn thing.
No, you can't breathe. They're not healthy for you. People are getting sick from wearing masks.
Of course, you've got
germs, bacteria.
My son, who is one of the smartest human beings on the face of the earth, he just graduated high school with like a 4.7 on a 4.0 scale. Smart as fuck. I asked him about 6 months in. I was like, "Hey man, you washing your fucking mask?" He's like, "You gotta wash it?" I'm like, what the fuck do you?
Stop stuff from coming
like,
in.
Dude, 6 months, bro. He's like, "Oh, I just hang it from my rear view mirror." He was wearing the same one every fucking day.
Yeah, I mean, look, because they don't do anything.
And I ain't putting that fucking vaccine in my body.
I don't think the vaccine.
You have no idea what's in that shit, man.
My mom
have no idea.
She's like 75 or 76, and she got COVID. She tested positive for it like 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago at Myrtle Beach.
Wow.
And she was sick at Myrtle Beach. She didn't feel that great, but she wasn't like deathly ill. She just didn't feel good. She tested positive for COVID, and she's like, "I'm not getting a vaccine." She's like, "I don't want it. I mean, I'm fine." So I got antibodies. But there are people
73?
out there. I think she's like 75. She's born in 46, so 75. So like, she just didn't care. She's like, whatever. It is what it is. at this time. And there's a lot of people out there that are like that, but I would argue that the majority of the vaccination side is definitely Democrat. It's very political.
Man, and that bugs the fuck out of me because that's the whole problem. That's the whole. First of all, I will say this. That's the whole problem with America right now. Is that as soon as any issue arises, the people that are parts of those two groups, Republicans and Democrats, they look to the motherfuckers who are in charge of those two groups and they almost ask them, how am I supposed to feel about this?
Right.
What am I supposed to think? Please tell me. And they used to have, and they still do, but they used to have Rush Limbaugh, who get on the fight, and now they have Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson, and of course, you know, whatever you want to say about who the, I don't know who the liberal, I don't know, I don't think in those terms. I don't own a TV, I don't watch TV, I don't give a fuck about TV, I don't want to watch TV, I don't give a shit who's on it, I don't care what they say, and I definitely don't give a fuck about a Democrat opinion versus a Republican opinion. To me, look, and I've told you this, I fucking love this country, buddy. I love this country. I love America. It's my home. I was born here. It's offered me a tremendous opportunity to live an amazing life that I thought would have ended a long time ago. I did not expect to live this long. I expected to be dead. I was told I'd be dead. Everybody that knew me was like, you're going to be dead. You're not going to, you can't live living the way you're living. You're going to be dead. I was like, all right, well then I'm going to live like today's my last day. I started doing that when I was like 5 years old. Because everybody told me I was going to be, they're like, he's going to be dead. So I was like, all right, well then if I'm going to be dead, today's going to be a good fucking day. And what bothers me is, man, we have such a great country. We have such a great country. America is so amazing. Maybe we didn't do shit right to get here. Maybe shit ain't perfect now. I get that, man. Can it be better? Of course. There's so many things I'd like to change. I don't agree with the government. I don't agree with money. I don't like anything. But goddamn, I like, and what I see in the people that I encounter in my day. I see people at the gym that I go to. I see people at the restaurant that I work at. I see people around me. I see people at the laundromat. And man, they get along.
Yeah.
When I see people, they get along. Like, and they try. They hold doors for each other. And they give back each other's wallets when they drop them. And they help each other out. And they don't. It has, there's no racial boundaries. There's no age boundaries. There's no gender boundaries. People protect each other. I've seen people protect women. I've seen people protect men. I've never in my life been around when a gay person has been insulted or attacked by another person because maybe, I don't know, people just look at me and they're like, hey, he would not allow that shit to happen. We shouldn't do it in front of him. I don't think that's it, though. I just feel like you see that in the media. You see these people attacking each other and in trying to get these people to hate each other. And in the real world, man, in the real world, people are out there getting along. And they like each other. And they want the best for each other. And I don't understand why we're not promoting that. Why are we focused on the divisions instead of the things that bring us together? I don't get it.
I think I don't know. I agree with you. I don't see in my daily life, I don't see the divide like all of that. But I don't get it. But and that's what I'm saying. Like I have not been into a place, a restaurant, a building, a retail establishment, a gas station, anywhere where there has been any sort of tension between people.
Right.
But if you turn on the news and you turn on the media, they're like, oh, it's everywhere. Like I don't see it.
I live my life. Right. I live my life. I realized, and I begged. Look, I tried to start a movement on Facebook several times, many times. I've tried to start a movement on Facebook because that's, to me, look, that's the only connection I have to technology.
Right.
I don't know anything else. I looked at Instagram. I'm sorry, I couldn't get it. Didn't do nothing for me. I see TikTok videos. My coworkers show me that shit all the time. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. Cool, whatever. People are into what they're into, and I'm not even into Facebook. I'm not like a Facebook addict. I don't care. You know, I've gotten into some skirmishes with people on Facebook, but I'm always laughing while I'm doing it. I don't give a fuck. But what I don't understand is, why do these people pretend like there's so much hatred between people with that?
I don't know.
To
I don't know where it is.
to me,
I'm with you. I don't see it daily, and I don't know, man. Like, it was funny. It's like when everything shut down and there was nothing to do. I bought a boat last year, and the guy that I bought the boat from, his family, he's like, dude, he's like, there's none of this. Like, all the racial shit going on, all the fights, all of the riots, all the COVID lockdown.
That's just happening.
And
It is happening.
It is happening. But he's like, he goes, it's happening on TV. Go to the lake, dude. Everyone's out there. No one cares. Everyone's having a good time. Everyone's partying.
Right.
We're going great.
Right.
And it's like, but you look on TV and you think the entire world's like that. And I look down my street and it's every nationality of people. No one gives
but
a shit.
here's what I will say. Here's what and this is the distinction, and this is why I love America. This is what because I along the lines, I've met a lot of people from other countries too, who started out their lives in other countries. And whenever I meet somebody from another country, I talk to them about it as much as I possibly can. I do it without trying to upset them, because sometimes they don't like where they came from, and sometimes where they came from, it was very traumatic.
Yeah.
And so I always am very cautious with those conversations, but I try to find as much information about what their life was like before they came here, and I try to find out why they came here. You know, you started out there.
Right.
You were there until a certain age. What was it that got you here? And, you know, I'm just so proud of the fact that people all over the world, even now, with all of the shit that is, people are talking about a crisis down at the southern border. I get it. They think that in their mind it's a crisis. And I get there's bad people coming across or whatever. Man, when people love where you live so much that they are willing to risk their lives to make that journey and cross unimaginable amounts of pain just for a chance to come here and have nothing. Please appreciate where you are. And please treat the people that are risking everything with a little bit of respect. It's not a crisis, man. It's only a crisis if we start pointing guns at each other.
I think the crisis isn't so much the people, the amount of people coming or the mass or what they're going through to get here. The crisis is how we're dealing with those people once they do get here.
Okay.
And it's I'm not even talking about on a societal level of like just treating people badly for, you know, coming through here illegally or however the case is. It's what we're doing to these people once they do come. All right, well, where do you come from? What is this? And we're sticking them in these detainment facilities that is very inhumane.
Right.
And you know, you can
So
argue
what is the option?
I don't know
What's the solution?
That
Are we trying to find a solution, or are we just, man, build a wall? Ain't this a fucking solution?
Well, in a way, build a wall, and I'll put it to you like this. In a way, build a wall is a solution, and I'll tell you why. Because arguably, the people that come through illegally, through coyotes and through all of these, you know, they risk everything, and they don't risk everything because it's dangerous to come to America. They risk everything because the people bringing them to America are the most dangerous people they could ever be in contact with. They're putting them in vehicles with no air conditioning in the desert sun, sneaking them over here with no food and water, and they die just through being transported because they go, oh, well, there's a hole in the fence, right? So if you could funnel people into a place where it's not as dangerous for them to come through. So I get.
Do you think that that's truly the motivation of the people that want to build a wall?
I don't think it's the motivation. I'm not going to say that's the motivation. I'm just saying that also, in a way, you have to look at it and go, well, how do we stop? Because look, people are going to come here no matter what you build. They're going to try to get through. The problem is that it's so...
Why is that? Why do you think they want to come here so bad?
Because where they come from is terrible.
I'll tell you what I know from listening to them, because I talk to them a lot, man. A lot. I know a dude who walked here from Honduras when he was 9 fucking years old. By himself, not a caravan, not a coyote in sight, didn't pay off a cartel. 9-year-old kid walked from Honduras on his own to America, from Honduras to America, became a busboy, became a dishwasher, became the manager of his apartment complex, became the owner of his apartment complex, still works as a fucking busboy.
That's crazy.
And owns the complex where he allows people who have no credentials to come and rent a place to stay once they get here.
Huh.
And I'm saying, man, we are a nation that the whole rest of the world wishes they could be like.
Yeah. I think there's a double-edged sword with the border. And I think that part of that double-edged sword, like I said, is if you can, right? So what they're trying to do is just patch this hole so that people just can't walk across land into another country.
Man, they can't. Do you have any idea what have you been down there?
No.
Have you been down there?
Let me finish my thought. I lose my thought.
I don't want to lose your thought. Go ahead.
It is so extremely dangerous to come through illegally, right? And a lot of people die and they get so taken advantage of, and they give up everything for a chance to get here. And our bigger problem is that we don't have a process in our country that is streamlined enough for people to come here just through. Look, why is it so difficult for somebody to go, I want to come to America? I just need to get a passport and I can come over here. And if I want to stay, why isn't there an easy process with the biggest government we have?
Why isn't there?
Why isn't there? That's the real problem.
Why isn't
there? Going, I don't know why there isn't. There's no answer to that. We have this ginormous
There's an answer.
Huge government, and we can't figure it out. Oh, why does it take 10 years to become a citizen?
There's an answer.
What's the answer
to those questions?
What is it?
Because the people that are in charge of this country don't want it to happen.
Why not?
The people that are in charge of this country want the people that are in this country to fight about it.
I guess
they don't look. Whenever there's a problem, the one thing that I've learned about life, and I try to be a student of life, man. I have no answers.
Right.
All I ever have is questions. I try to ask. And the one thing that I've learned about life is when you look at a problem, the reason the problem exists is because nobody's fucking trying to solve it.
Okay, that's fair.
And the people that are out there trying to get to America, the reason that they have such a difficult time getting to America is because the people that are in charge of America are trying to make the people that are in America fight with each other about why these fucking people want to be here. Now, are there criminals that want to come in? Yes. Is there a way to keep the criminals out? Absolutely. Can you tell the difference? Can you tell the difference between somebody who's trying to be a criminal and come in here and...
Nah, you can't tell the difference.
You don't ever know what's in somebody's head.
You don't know.
I
just
mean,
don't. Unless they're carrying a fucking head across the border, you really don't know, right? Like that guy has a suspicious amount of blood on him. I'm gonna have to. He's either just ate and just killed something and ate it, or we should probably ask a couple more questions before let him in here.
I mean, there's a there's got to be a process. There needs to be.
Nobody's trying to solve it.
They're not trying to solve it. They're not even trying to come up with it. They're just barking at each other, and they're trying to make us all mad at each other. And they're trying to make us all hate these people. But I will say this, because I watched Fox News for about 30 seconds a week ago while I was on the bike. And this guy was down at the border trying to show what a crisis it was. And he was standing at a place where apparently there's a place in the river where the tide gets really low at times. Right, and people can come across. And these people were coming across. And he was trying to interview them as they were coming across. He spoke Spanish. He was trying to speak to them in Spanish. And the people that made it across that river, and they filmed them walking from one side to the other. And they were having to hold each other up and keep each other from falling. Fucking water was flowing fast, knocking people over, and they're grabbing each other and standing up. They made it across to the other side. And it was they couldn't talk. He tried to interview them while they'd been so far, they'd walked so far, they were so emotional about just being there. They didn't care if they were getting arrested. They didn't care if they were going to look, wherever they were from, whatever they've been through. My friend used to tell me, he's like, why did you come here when you were 9? He's like, dude, I used to eat dirt.
That's crazy. Dirt sandwich, man. That's a real thing. Dirt pancakes. Real thing.
So
all right, we're gonna wrap it up here. We're gonna do the last segment, which is don't be a dick. This one's on you this time because I did the last one.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Here's what I would just say about don't be a dick. And I want to say this to I want to say this in fairness to people that don't understand. Some people don't understand. Look, let me explain how a restaurant fucking works. All right? There are some restaurants out there that are fast food. You walk into a fast food restaurant, you pay for your food, you get your food, you walk out. There are some restaurants where you sit down, you go in, there's a hostess. The hostess is going to seat you. They're going to seat you at a table. And you're going to sit down at that table, and then somebody is going to walk up to that table and try to be the person that communicates what you want with the kitchen. The person in the kitchen doesn't want to make you anything. The person in the kitchen doesn't even want to be at work. They're mad as shit. They're probably completely hungover. And they're angry. And I'll just say they're very angry. The person at your table is trying to take your communication of how exactly you want your meal. And let me assure you that I've heard people say, I would like my food well done, but I don't want it too crispy. Okay, I'll write that down. I'll relay that to the kitchen. I'll let them know that. Folks, at the end of your meal, you don't have an obligation because of life. You have a moral obligation because of how difficult of a human being you are and because of how kind that person has been to you, to leave them a fucking tip. Leave them a tip. And let me tell you, a tip on a $250 check, $5 is not getting it done. Leave them all the money that you have. And let me explain to you why. I'm going to explain to you why. Because there are people out there that don't tip, and I get it. You don't want to tip. There are people out there that will write a 0 with a line through it on their check. I'm not tipping. Later on in life, perhaps later in that same day, something will happen to you. You will get a flat tire. Your car will run out of gas. Your transmission will fall into the ground. Your house will burn down. Your girlfriend will cheat on you with your best friend. Something will happen in your life, and you'll say to yourself, what can it be that caused this? Let me tell you what it was. Karma, bitch. Fucking karma. You fucking didn't goddamn tip that fucking server, and karma is fucking taking care of your ass. So, fucking here's what I would advise to every fucking human being out there. Every human being, you go into a restaurant that has a waiter that walks up to your table, that introduces themselves and says, I am here to take care of you. Let me assure you, you have no idea how hard that fucking person's job is. So at the end of the fucking job, at the end of the fucking meal, when you're done making the biggest mess that a human being could possibly fucking make, throwing food, napkins, silverware, and plates all over the place, give that person every single fucking penny that you have left to your life, because they deserve it. God bless you all. God bless America. Fucking free as fuck. Here we are. Thank you.
Here we are. That's true, man. That's true. Luke said no one tips in Australia, probably 5%.
We got one viewer.
We got more viewers.
So
We had Tim up in here. Tim was here. Lucid was here.
all right.
Yeah, Lucid was talking about the mask. He said it's funny when you wear a mask when it's below freezing, you see all the breath escaping from the sides of the mask. They just aren't that effective.
Hey,
He
man.
also said his dad passed from COVID, and he was 81. And he had a lot of pre-existing conditions that attributed to that. But
I'm sorry to hear that, buddy.
yeah, that's life, man. Listen, if it wasn't COVID, probably flu would have got him. Something would have got him. Yeah, some people are just sick, and it just takes a little push.
Let's try to be a little bit healthier, America.
Just try to be
We could
healthy.
eat
That's the
better.
problem. That was one of the biggest problems throughout the entire pandemic is nobody pushed just being healthy. No one
Right.
pushed vitamins and eating well. They just said stay home and fucking DoorDash.
And then
some
let's give you a
sides.
shot.
Yeah, we'll give you a shot. DoorDash, some fucking
Here's what
heart attack.
a little
Waffle House.
exercise, a couple
That's all it is.
vegetables once in a
Look, you're
while.
not gonna get sick from Waffle House. We're gonna put it in a sealed bag. It's sealed for your safety.
Right,
Here's a
right,
heart attack.
right.
Eat all of it.
Whoa, Waffle House has their new healthy precautions.
Don't go to the gym because that's closed. Don't go outside.
Right.
Stay home.
Right,
Clog all
don't
of your
exercise.
arteries.
Don't exercise.
Yeah.
Just order Waffle House from your couch.
That's it. Yeah,
It'll be
whatever
fun.
it is, man. Just get a big fat fucking pile of grease, suck it down, and try not to catch COVID because that shit'll fucking kill you. That's America.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go, buddy. That was fun, man. We
Yeah.
killed like an hour and a half.
Holy
and
shit.
We had a good time. And
Yeah.
we're gonna have some more topics, man. We're gonna have some more topics come Thursday. It's gonna be another
We'll be
night.
ready. We'll be
Another
ready.
night, and it's gonna be ready. I appreciate everyone who showed up. And I'm Marshall appreciates everyone who showed up, and it will be live. It will be on there, so you can watch the whole thing in its entirety on YouTube. And we'll cut up some clips. But if you got some comments, man, some things to talk about, leave them in the chat, and we will read them, and we will talk about them for sure. Each and every week, we're gonna have a good time, man.
This was amazing.
So, until,
Thank you all.
Next time, we will see you guys later, man, and stay free as fuck out there.
Free as fuck, bitch.
Free as fuck.